I tell you.
So you brought us
Talk about what?
Bring up the fact that Maria braved all those storms. I mean, the stories that she has.
We sent Maria Molina out. You and I both left. I went to Kansas, and you went to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Was it on Friday?
Yeah, we left after work.
So did I.
Yeah.
And then the storms rolled in.
Yeah.
And they were big.
The reason why we went was because we were expecting the storm, so we decided to meet up with some storm chasers. It's Reed Timmer and TVN Weather. So he's had his own show on Discovery. He's been chasing tornadoes for many, many years. He's an expert. He's even getting his PhD in Oklahoma. But we knew that risk was there, and we knew it was very high on Sunday. So Sunday we headed out to Arkansas. We were looking at the radar in his special vehicle that he has. We were looking at the different storms, and we spotted one that looked like it could potentially produce a big tornado. There were other ones too, so we kind of had to make a decision as to which one we were going to focus on. We picked a specific storm. We tracked it for hours across the state of Arkansas, and by about 7:30 p.m. Central Time, it produced a tornado right outside of Little Rock. It first hit Mawell, and then it hit Mayflower. And we were right next to it, and we arrived right when it hit.
Oh, my goodness.
So are you literally chasing? I mean, you're in the car as you're tracking, or how do you do that?
Yeah, so we can look on the radar, and we also have a map. We can see all the roadways and try to stay as close to the storm in a safe way as safely as possible.
Maria, the technology that they have, how is it similar or different than what you have here when you're watching the storms from the studio?
It's very similar, but they also have it so that they can have it in their car. And they're also focusing more on tornadoes. Right. So they have a much smaller scale, higher resolution radar.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have to say, out of the whole trip, what was so that I still get emotional was the fact that we got there right when it hit.
Sure.
And we were speeding to that area with cops, with the search and rescue teams.
Yeah.
And when we got there, people were screaming. There were people trapped in their cars. Yeah, and I mean, I got kind of caught up in it, and we helped pull people out. They were asking for people, anyone there to
you need to help right then. You and I have had the conversation many times because every time there's a big tornado and you say, well, you're from Kansas, have you ever seen them? Yeah. I've seen a lot of tornadoes. Usually they all stick up in the sky, and occasionally, when I was growing up, they'd take out somebody's barn, never the kind of death and destruction that you saw. But, you growing up down in Florida where you would see hurricanes, in particular Andrew, it's completely different. It's like a hurricane a block wide.
Yeah, exactly. It's very localized. You can see one house that seems untouched. It looks just like it did before the storm rolled through. Yep. And right next to it, complete destruction, a home completely leveled. And some of the scenes that we saw, too, were a little different from homes being destructed. But I saw a piece of what looked like a piece of a truck, and it was smashed into a trailer. And it was still elevated right off the ground. That's the amount of force that tornado had. And it has been confirmed as an EF4. It goes up to EF5, but this one is being ranked as a stronger scale EF4, meaning winds close to 200 miles per hour.
Maria, what made this storm stick around for so long and so widespread? I mean, we've felt the effects of it up here at a much different level, obviously, but usually these storms don't last this long.
Yeah, this one was a very slow mover. We knew the severe threat was in place as well days in advance. We had very warm conditions ahead of that storm system. We were expecting very warm air from the Gulf of Mexico to rise northward. Different computer models also showed that we'd have a lot of wind shear at different levels of the atmosphere. So closer to the ground, you'd have winds out of, let's say, the southeast. And then you go up a little higher, they'd be out of the southwest or out of the west.
Get it to spinning.
So
and
really
that's
just mixed it up a lot.
Yeah, so that's what produced that rotation, and those are the ingredients that you need for tornado touchdowns. There was a high risk, which is very rare that the Storm Prediction Center issues that. It's only a few days out of the year that we see that on average, and that high risk was issued that day on Sunday for Arkansas.
Well, the computers are absolutely amazing. Maria, great job out there.
Thank
We're
you.
glad you got back safe.
Nice work.
Very nice. All right. That's going to wrap it up. We've got an ice cream cake to eat. Here.
Salted caramel.
See you tomorrow.
This tastes just like a bite.